Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us live tonight. We have such an inspirational author with us today who's not afraid to let you know it's not scary to cry. It's actually brave to cry. And this is for all you girls and boys. It is brave to emotion, and she's going to get into you. And thank you for joining us. Her name is Miss Rebecca. And without any further ado, we're going to get her in here and get to the bottom of It's Brave to Cry. Hi, Miss Rebecca. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today, Jennifer?
I am well. I am so thankful that you are here with us today. And
Likewise.
and your book, It is Brave to Cry. So first, let me do a little icebreaker with you. So let me ask, what is your favorite season and why?
Oh, my favorite season is definitely fall. I just love when the colors are changing, and I love apple picking and apple cider donuts, everything that has to do with fall. I'm here for it, and I'm actually getting married this upcoming fall, so super excited about that too.
Awesome. Congratulations to you and your
Yeah.
future husband. So
Thank
I
you.
have a couple of questions for you today. What inspired It's Brave to Cry?
Yeah, great question. I think it was really this past year and just being stuck at home longer than I anticipated, but also not really knowing the appropriate way to release my own emotions, dealing with everything going on in 2020. So if I, and a young adult, am having trouble processing my own emotions, I couldn't even imagine the young kiddos out there dealing with everything that's going on,
Mhm.
especially the Black Lives Matter movement that also really started back up again this summer. um, Encouraged me to write something like this specific,
Mhm.
with characters that looked like me growing up and looked like my family members growing up. And it was really important for me to also highlight a father and son dynamic, a Black father and son dynamic in my book. So kind of a long-winded answer
That's
to
awesome.
say, yeah, everything that's just really happened this year inspired me to get this dream out there. So I was excited I got it out at the very end of the year.
That is very, very awesome. So my next question for you is, how long have you been writing?
Um, my entire life, most of my life, I've been writing. I love storytelling. Um, and I just loved working with children. So I feel like storytelling, working with children, children's book author seems pretty
Yeah,
simple
everything
to
goes together.
me. Yeah, exactly.
That is so awesome. So my next question for you is, your journey like publishing your book?
Oh, great question. This was my first time doing this, so I had a lot of learning. Thank you. I had a lot of learning to do along the way as well. It first started with just the idea, and I had a little group of people that I trusted who I sent my first editions to edit and work through. And after that, finding an illustrator was, pretty difficult as well. There are so many talented people out there, but I ended up working with a woman who I really enjoyed working with. Um, but, having to navigate all of this alone, like during a pandemic, was quite difficult. But at the same time, there are so
Mhm.
many helpful resources online or, within Facebook groups, on Fiverr,
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
may be.
yeah.
There's so many helpful resources. So although it was quite the journey, and I did definitely make some mistakes along the way, I learned from all of this, and I wouldn't change, the journey for anything. I learned quite a bit about how to self-publish, but also about myself. So
That's a great answer. So how
thank
do
you.
you get into your writing zone? Do you listen to music while you write, or
Ooh,
it has to be like perfectly silent, park, the ocean,
good
the beach,
question. Yeah.
things that
I Yeah, before I have to get into a writing zone, I love to take a walk with my dog. He's super hyperactive, so it's more like a run, if I'm being honest. But I just like to get some fresh air, maybe go to the dog park, and then, when I come back, if I have a candle lit and a cup of coffee, that's all I really need to get going. I do prefer quiet when I'm writing, when I get into a zone, but also at the same time, once I'm in a zone, everything else is just quiet. So there could be music going on or the TV could be on and I wouldn't even know. If I'm in the zone, I'm in the
You're in the
zone.
zone. That is amazing. So, what
Yeah.
great things can we expect from It's Brave to Cry? Like, where are you? Where's your book at right now? Where can people purchase your story?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the great things.
Definitely. So you can buy my book on RebeccaRobinson.org. My book is also available on Amazon in paperback, hardcover, and Kindle. So definitely check it out there. And you can
It,
also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at It's Brave to Cry.
awesome, awesome. And you can also find her through www.com. Book is posted there under the spotlight tab, and it goes directly to her account as well. So that is wonderful. So we're going to do now, Miss Rebecca, we're going to take a little commercial break, and we're going to come back, and you're going to share a little bit of your story with us of It's Brave to Cry.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you. Okie dokie, guys. So we'll be right back. Enjoy this mini commercial.
Are you having a hard time finding a black narrator?
Let ghost readers bring the voice in your head to life.
Thank you guys so much for being patient with us. And ghost readers, get your audio book today. And without any further ado, I'm going to step back and let Miss Rebecca Robinson take the screen and share with you her wonderful, inspiring story of It's Brave to Cry.
Hi there. Here's the cover of my book. And just so you guys can get a little bit of a better idea of what my story is about, I'll read the back cover. So Clay is a young boy who has trouble expressing his emotions. After a hard day at school, Clay's dad encourages him to feel empowered to share his feelings and tells him that it's the brave thing to do. Unconvinced, Clay sets off on an adventure to ask some of the bravest people he can think of if they ever cry, and if they do, he wants to know why. Clay learns a lot about bravery and the different types of tears, but will Clay ever uncover if it's truly brave to cry and conquer his fears? Okay, so let's get going. I do have an author's note about bravery that I'm going to read before I read the first few pages of my story. Sometimes kids grow up thinking that in order to be cool, they need to be strong, tough, and brave. They think that in order to be strong, tough, and brave, they can never be scared, never ask for help, and definitely never cry. They are taught to push those weaker feelings deep down so that the bravery can shine through. But how can we learn from these tears if we keep pushing them away? Feeling the feelings that are hard to feel is a brave thing to do. Talking about the feelings that are hard to talk about is a brave thing to do. And understanding why you feel the way you feel is a very brave accomplishment. It's not always easy, but that's where the bravery comes in, and practice helps too. So think of this before you hide your own tears or judge someone else's view. And lastly, when reading this story, keep in mind that bravery always starts with being unapologetically and authentically you. Okay, so let's get a little sneak peek of my story. Here's Clay and his dad. When Clay came home from school, he was in a very grumpy mood. He tossed his backpack on an empty chair, popped down on the floor, and let out a big "Oomph." "What's wrong, Clay?" his dad asked. "You seem upset." A lot happened today at school. I dropped my lunch on the floor and everyone laughed at me. And then I missed the game winning shot during recess. But also, I was just sad. I missed my old friends and my old school. I wanted to cry all day, but I didn't. That does sound like a frustrating and confusing day, said Clay's dad. But Clay, why do you feel like you have to hold in these emotions for so long? Don't you see how upset you are after holding in all of these big feelings? It's okay to cry sometimes and let it out. Actually, it's brave to cry. Everyone at school says that big kids don't cry, only big babies do, Clay moaned. And anyway, if someone is brave, doesn't that mean they have to be tough or fearless? Those people don't cry. Clay's dad asked, well, who are some of the bravest people you can think of? And you'll have to get my book to figure out who Clay meets on his brave adventure with his dad.
I absolutely love it. First of all, I love Clay with his passy. What is going on? You guys have to really go grab this book. I want to know what is going on in Clay's mind. Why does
Mhm.
he see himself that way? Who told him for him to
Exactly.
see himself that way? So what? That is an amazing story and I love it. And it's kind of funny a little bit, but at the same time, it has a really important and strong message. And I love the way that Clay is trying to figure out, like, am I a baby, or how do I fight off all these bullies? Or it's just an
Exactly.
amazing story. I love it so much.
Thank you so
Good for
much.
you.
Thank you.
Inspiration for writing this specific story about the crybaby? Did something like that happen that you've witnessed when you know, or
I'm lucky enough to have grown up with and be surrounded by a lot of loving and caring men in my life. But with that being said, a lot of these men in my life do have issues and trouble expressing themselves, especially when they're upset and when they feel like they have to cry. And in turn, our the younger generation of boys specifically
Mhm.
feel as
Mhm.
if to be brave they shouldn't cry. They need to be tough and strong and fearless. But I want the younger generation to understand that, you know, in order to be those things, you have to be emotional. You can't be strong and brave without knowing how you truly feel and processing your own feelings at the same time.
I
So that's
agree with that.
really where I came from. Yeah.
I love
So,
it. I love it, and I agree with it 100%. I have three sons, and I never once ever told them, you know, stop crying or stop sounding like a
mm,
baby or be a man. And they're like two. So
mhm,
it's like
exactly.
it's not fair to take that away from boys. It's not
Exactly.
fair to take away the fact of, especially when you're little and you don't know your feelings in words where others can understand. So
Mhm.
cry is perfectly normal. And I love your story, and I love that you normalize it for boys. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. So you said this is your first book you've written. So
This
it's your what?
this is my first book, yeah.
Yeah. So what else can we expect from Miss Rebecca Robinson in the future?
Yes, well, I definitely expect to write many children's books in the future. This is one of many, the first of many. This also may not be the last time we see Clay. I think he may come back in a book or two. And yeah, I think this is just the beginning for me as a young children's book author
Yeah.
and for Clay in his journey as well. So it's
Yeah.
super exciting so far.
I would love to see Clay come back as like a hero. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Super cheers.
I love that. Super cheers. I'll keep that in mind.
I own it. Well, it
Love
was
that.
such a pleasure having you with us today. And I thank you for your time. And I do respect your time. So, is there anything else that you would like to add or say before we wrap up this wonderful, wonderful interview?
Oh, well, I just want to thank you as well, Jennifer, for your time and for your support and for all of your kind words. And this has been such a blast. So thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. And we will definitely have many, many more interviews with many other books that you publish.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't wait.
You're welcome. Many blessings to you and your journey. And
Thank you
I'll
so
see you
much.
soon. You're
Yeah,
welcome. Bye.
bye.
And we are so thankful for Miss Rebecca and her time that she spent with us here. She is such an amazing author. Guys, grab her book. Again, it is on my website at www.jennifersomerville.com under the Spotlight tab. And yeah, you will not regret it. Thank you so much. And I want to actually do one more reminder of if you ever need someone to do audio for you and you're looking for a wonderful narrator, I'm going to post one more time my commercial so you guys can jot down the information and the website on where you can do that.
Are you having a time finding a Black narrator?
Let ghost readers bring the voice in your head to life.
Thank you so much for joining us, and God bless you all. Until 6:30, we have one more wonderful interview tonight, and that takes place in about 10 minutes. So see you very, very soon with another brilliant and wonderful author.